Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using a lot of those new products that I recently purchased and showed you guys in a haul. I did want to do an all-day wear test with these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a first impressions today, and then I'm going to wear them throughout the week, and then I'll let you guys know in the description box how the product worked for me. So I wanted to do the all-day wear test with a couple of these products, but today it's not working out that way, so I'm just going to stick with the first impressions. So I think I do have a full face of products. I think I have everything except face primer and maybe the brows, but I should have everything else as far as putting on a full face today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with primer. I am using my NYX Plump Right Back Primer. This is a really good primer for the skin. It helps like hydrate the skin, and it really helps my makeup last. I'm just gonna put that all over. I did want to mention that I used my Black Girl sunscreen, the SPF 45. Today's the first time that I tried it on, and I really do love it, guys. It goes on clear, there's no white cast. It feels like a moisturizer a little bit. I've been wearing it all day, and I really do love it. I don't feel like it makes me oily or makes me look greasy, so yeah, so far so good with this. I brought you guys in a little bit closer. So now I'm going to go in with my primer for the center of my face, and this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Control Mattifying Primer. This is what it looks like, and I just put just a tiny bit on the center. So we're gonna let that sink in, and I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Party Proof Primer for my eyes. This is new, of course. I showed you guys this in my haul. This is the shade Caramel. So I'm just gonna lay a little bit on my eyelids. I like that it has this applicator too. Now it looks like it's only distributing a little bit of the product on my eyelid. It doesn't have a different shade to it. Kind of just blended in a little bit like more clear. So we'll see how that works with the eyeshadow. So before we go into eyeshadow, I'm gonna put on the What the Fake Extreme. I do love the original What the Fake. It's really good, and these products by Essence are so affordable. But this is what this one looks like. It's got that kind of red tint to it. Doesn't feel like it has a tingling sensation yet though. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. So for eyes today, I'm gonna go in with my Nudie Cutie palette. Plastic sheet in it has all the names. And I wanted to show you guys the names are also on the back of the palette. It's a lot easier when they're on the back so that I don't have to keep looking at that plastic piece of paper. This is the shade that I'm going to use to set the eye primer. This is called Cutie. Just take my brush and just run it across. All right, so I'm going to go into this shade right here called Flower Child. It's kind of not showing up on me too well. I'm going to go ahead and deepen it with something else. I'm going to go into the shade Flawless. So that one was a little bit more pigmented, but not as pigmented as I'd like it to be. So I'm gonna go in with another shade, and I think I'm gonna use this one right here. This one is called Mood. So I'm gonna use that one to kind of deepen it up a little bit. The shades are really light and soft looking. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now this one came off a little bit more rosy. I thought it was gonna be more of like a dark brown, but it's a little bit rosier than I thought it was gonna be. This is just a smaller brush that I'm going in with. It's a crease brush as well by e.l.f. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this shade right here, which is called Down to Earth, and I'm going to put it on the outer corner. Again, this shade is a lot darker in the pan and lighter on the eye, so I'm just kind of building it up. My lips are starting to have a little bit more like tingling sensation. I can feel it now. I'm just going to take a brush and blend that because I don't like the way that shade went on the eyelid. All right, let me take a little bit more, see if I can fix it. It looks like it's not blending in like I want it to. Looks like it's skipping. I don't know why, because the other shades didn't do that. But this dark shade is doing that. It's really weird how it's doing that. We're gonna go in with Free Spirit. That's that shade right there. And I'm just gonna take that on my lid. This has a creamy consistency, but it's really not showing up on my eyelid. Let me try my finger. It's a little bit better with my finger. This eye look is not coming out like I want it to. Yeah, I'm not feeling these shadows. I'm gonna go in with Rhinestones. Yeah, see, this has a little bit more pigmentation, and I think the other one is like a topper. So that looks a little bit better. I'm gonna use a little bit of the dark black shade right here because I don't like the outer corner of this eye look. Going to press a little bit of that black in there. Maybe it'll make it look a little bit better. I don't know, guys. All right, that's gonna be it for the eyes for now. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not really feeling that palette. I just don't like the way the shadows went on, but let's move on. So far for the lips, I'm not really seeing any like plumping. I'm just feeling like my lips are on fire. They don't really feel like they're plumping up or anything like that. So not really feeling that. I'm gonna keep it on until we get to like lip. All right, so we're gonna get started with the foundation. I am using the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I got mine in the shade 330W. Now I am gonna use this as I would use a normal foundation. I don't typically use powder foundations by themselves, but we're gonna try the powder foundation by itself. I am gonna go in with my Cookies and Dreams sponge with it. I'm also gonna use a brush on the opposite side of my face to see which one gives me a little bit more coverage. So let me go wet the sponge and then I'll come back and apply the Okay, so I wet the sponge and it's really nice and bouncy. I do like the shape of it. Of course, that corner right there is gonna help with concealer. I think it's really cute. I love the marbling on this too. So let's go ahead and try the foundation. This is what the shade looks like. Kind of yellow, to be honest with you, but I think this is the closest to my skin tone. It does come with a sponge. We're not gonna use that sponge. We're gonna use this one. So let's go ahead and start with this side of my face and use the sponge. Ooh, it's pretty powdery. Yeah, it's very dark on me. Hopefully it'll kind of blend out. It's covering very nicely. Can you guys tell? It looks like it's covering really beautifully. So that's a good thing. That's a plus. And I'm just dipping my sponge a little bit at a time as I go. I tried to run my sponge through it and it started to break up. So I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to ruin it. So just going in little by little, but it looks super smooth on the skin, guys. Look how pretty and smooth that looks. So now we're going to go in with a brush on this side. I'm just going to press the brush into the product and then just press it onto my skin. This side is with a brush and this side is with a sponge. And to be honest with you, I like the sponge application a lot better, so I'm gonna finish off my face with the sponge. I really do like the way it creates like this soft look on my skin. The brush seems like it just kind of smears a little bit and it's not as soft looking. I'm gonna bring it down because like I said, it's dark. All right, so by looking at it, it's not really like a full coverage foundation. The shade is a little bit off, but I'm hoping that we can kind of blend stuff in and make it look a little bit better. But it is really pretty on the skin. Now I will have to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. So that's what I'm gonna try to do on top of this powder foundation. We'll see if this works with it, but I just put a little bit where I need it, mainly on my melasma. And I might just go a little bit down the nose, forehead, upper lip. And I'm gonna use my sponge. It blended in okay. It doesn't look bad. I think it looks pretty good. So now we're gonna go ahead and go in with the Morphe concealer. This is the Morphe Filter Effect Concealer. I have mine in the shade 12. This is what the packaging looks like. Comes with one of those like flat applicators. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this on my under eye. The consistency feels pretty thin. The shade is good. So now I'm gonna take my e.l.f. sponge and then press that in. All right, that looks pretty good. It's pretty smooth on my under eyes. It looks pretty pigmented. It's not like a super full coverage, but I think it's pretty high medium and it blended in really nicely with the sponge. So I do like it so far. I think it looks really pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes with the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This is my favorite right now for setting the under eyes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my skin with the No Filter Colourpop setting powder. This is in the shade Banana, so this is what it looks like. So I'm gonna use this all over my face. Just put a little bit in the cap, take my brush, and it is a banana shade, so I really hope it doesn't make me look more yellow, so I'm just going to set it. It set okay. I don't know that it really made like a difference, but so far it's okay. It doesn't look bad. So I am gonna go in with my Ulta bronzer. This is in the shade medium to deep. This is called the Faux Glow Bronzer. I don't know if I like this bronzer, guys. I think it looks a little muddy on me. It looks a little gray. I don't really like a muddy looking or cool tone bronzer. This seemed like it would be more neutral tone, but it does seem like it came off a little bit cooler than I expected. Let's just go ahead and get into blush. We're gonna go in with the Born to Blush by Colourpop. This is the palette here. Now the other two palettes I do have to return because, oh gosh, I might have to return this one too. Look, it's coming off right there. That is not a good sign, guys. It's not a good sign. This will be my third palette where this has come off. Okay, let's just go ahead and move on. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, the lighter shade. Okay, that was really light. So now I'm gonna go into this shade right here. All right, guys, I'm gonna go off camera, do my eyebrows, and then we're gonna come back and do lips. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do lips really quickly. Taking this off. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my MAC lip liner in Control. I'm not sure if they still sell this one, but I wanted to try to find a shade close to the lipstick that I'm gonna try on today. So now I'm gonna go in with this Milani lipstick. This is in the shade Petal. So this is what it looks like. Really pretty. These are so creamy. I don't know if it goes with this eye look. I wanted to lighten this up a little bit, so I'm gonna go in with Peony, and that is Peony right there. It gives a little bit lighter tint, but not much. It's still really pretty. I'm kind of disappointed with a lot of the stuff that I used today, but I'm gonna go ahead and go over each one of them with you. I'm really disappointed in these Colourpop quads. I had two that broke already, and this one is about to break, and I didn't even want to use the highlighter in it because I wasn't impressed with the blushes. I felt like the blushes were mediocre. They're not creamy, they're just very powdery. So this is definitely not one I would recommend. For the Ulta Beauty bronzer, this is not a bronzer that I would actually use because it has like that maybe cooling type undertone. It doesn't look cooling when you look at it. It looks like it's a neutral type bronzer, but it's not. It comes off kind of muddy on my skin. So this was a fail as well. For the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder, I honestly didn't think this did anything like special to my skin. I feel like the Bare Focus, the Wet n Wild Bare Focus powders are way better than this. And this one's in Banana. It didn't make my skin look more yellow, but it just didn't wow me. I just didn't feel like it made my skin look any different. So for the Nudie Cutie palette, this is a beautiful palette, guys, but the shades in this palette have hardly any pigmentation. I felt like that darker shade was skipping. It just didn't blend well. I had to add the black shade, which I would have rather not done. I can't believe that this LA Girl palette did not work for me because most of them do. The formula of the eyeshadows are really good, so I was really surprised that this didn't work for me as well as the other palettes do. So for the sponge, this I do like. I really love it. I love the way it blended in the foundation. I think it went on seamless. It looks really beautiful. As far as the application, I really do love it. So yeah, this is a great sponge. I'm probably gonna get a couple more of these. They're nice and bouncy. They're not too soft and they're not too dense. I love that the corner can go right here into like the corner of the eye to blend that concealer. So yeah, this is a winner for me. Another product that didn't work for me was the Extreme What the Fake plumping gloss. It just did not do anything for my lips. I like the original way better than I like this one. Another difference is that this one burns your lips. So if you're sensitive to stuff like that, you're not gonna like this. It feels like there's literally like hot peppers on your lips. So yeah, this was a fail too. For the Milani lipsticks, these worked beautifully. They're very creamy. The formula is just as good as the nude ones, so I really did love these. And then for the Morphe Filter Effect concealer, the concealer went on really beautifully. I do like the way the concealer looks. I love the way that the Sephora powder set it. So it looks really beautiful. It hasn't creased on me, so that's really good. Again, it's a high medium coverage. It's not like full coverage, but it's still a really beautiful lightweight concealer. For the Colourpop Party Proof, again, this is a product that is mediocre. It's not anything to brag about. I really felt like you had to keep going in and placing it on your eye to get enough product on the eye to actually prime it. So this is something that's not gonna work for me. And then for the last product that I tested today is the e.l.f. Camo Powder. Guys, I love this powder on the skin. I just probably need to wear it when I'm like self-tanned because you can tell the difference between the color of my face and the color of my neck. And I feel like if I go with a lighter powder, it's just gonna look really ashy and maybe, you know, not so great. So it did turn out beautifully. I think the powder will be perfect for like the summer months when I am a little bit darker. Also, I don't mind that it's not full coverage. I do like that I can put on my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and it blends in beautifully. It doesn't break up the foundation. So I really love that. I really love the way it's set. It's just a beautiful powder foundation. So I really do like it. I am going to keep trying it out, but so far so good with this one. All right guys, so that's it for me trying all of these new products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I will put in the description box an update on the concealer and also the e.l.f. Camo Powder, just to let you guys know whether they worked or not. So look out for that down below. Also, let me know if you've tried any of these products and how you feel about them. I'd love to know your thoughts. So take care, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.